Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, one down, the new hitting coach, James Rosen, and now the second domino to fall. The Yankees have found their new bench coach. Now will be one Brad Ausmus. So we'll kind of go over him. You're probably familiar with him, former player, also a former manager as well. Spent 18 years in the big leagues, again, as a player, so I'm sure you very well know the name. Wasn't really the greatest of managers in the small amount of time he had as a manager, but nevertheless, I'll kind of give you the full breakdown dossier on Mr. Brad Ausmus there. But before we get started, there's a lot going on, and, as promised, there's a lot of moves being made. We got, Cashman most recently trimming up the roster there. We got some trades. We got some free agency signs already there, so got a long off season to go here, so make sure you subscribe to the podcast, Section 420 Talkin Yankees, and if you haven't done it already, go over to the YouTube channel there as well. There's some Section 420 Talkin Yankees content. Make sure you subscribe. The latest episode just went up yesterday and kind of touch upon the Brad Ausmus as well, but some other stuff. Again, some of these roster moves as well, some early Hall of Fame predictions by me, so you want to catch all that stuff, so subscribe to all of it. So, again, Yankees kind of looking around for a new bench coach. Again, you heard some names such as like David Ross being considered, but he turned it down because he only wants to come back as a manager. So I guess they finally settled upon Brad Ausmus. Now, he had been managing in recent years. He had a stint with the Tigers, a team he used to play for from 2014 to 2017. Then after that, spent the year managing the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Oakland of Orange County. I'm not sure what they were called in 2019. Again, they change their name every year. Overall, not really a great record in the 4 or 5 years he had there as a manager at 314 wins versus 332 losses there. But again, it's like a terrible Detroit team and not really an Angels team where probably Mike Trout was probably hurt most of the end. Again, Angels have been struggling for the past couple of years, so I don't think there's something to say with him. But again, what I like about him though that he is a former catcher. And, catchers are, they probably have to do the most thinking on the field there. I mean, they're, doing the pitch selection. They're watching the batter. They're trying to position the infielders. They're, relaying messages. The manager's giving them signals, and they kind of relay that to the pitcher or some of the infielders there. So, it's a very strategic, I say it's probably the most brain activity of all the players on the field there. So the fact that the Yankees have a catcher, basically next to Boone there, I just think that plays well. Probably could, pick up on some things that maybe Boone can't. Boone was a third baseman, whereas, again, Brad Ausmus as a catcher, he probably knows what the other catcher's thinking. He probably knows what the other pitcher's thinking. So I think that's a benefit there. So, good hire. Does it make a world of difference? I don't know. Maybe gives the Yankees 2 or 3 more wins, if that. So I don't think it's a huge deal, but again, I just think the idea as a catcher, he's there. And if you want to look at some former Yankee managers in this recent history, Joe Girardi, former catcher, and of course before him, Joe Torre, another former catcher there. So it's usually a good omen. So I like it all around. Let's just say something happens. The Yankees decide to part way with Boone. Hey, Brad Ausmus, he does have experience being a manager, and again, as a catcher, former catcher, would be in that pedigree of Torre and Girardi, so would be a kind of fit there and would make him a pretty good candidate. Not that I think Boone is in jeopardy or should be pushed out, but just throwing that little nugget out there. And actually, Ausmus, which I didn't even know myself, actually originally came up with the Yankee organization in '87. Was drafted by the Yankees in the 48th round, but jumbled around, but really cut his teeth with the Detroit Tigers. Overall had an 18-year career. As a player, just 1 All-Star appearance and 3 Gold Gloves defensively as a catcher there. Once in a while, they'd throw him around. He could play a little third base and first base if need be, but he was mainly a catcher. And if you, check out the most recent YouTube episode, if you played video games in the 90s, Brad Ausmus was always on the Detroit Tigers. For some reason, that name always stuck out with me there. So I guess, come around full circle there. So that's the episode. So the Yankees kind of get the coaching staff intact now. So you have the new hitting coach and a new bench coach. And again, giving this team maybe some fresh ideas, fresh direction, some new approaches at the game there to give the Yankees some better results in 2024. Now, the Yankees did also sign a free agent, Yesy De Los Santos from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now he's not really kind of an under the radar type of guy, but Cashman's usually good at, his one strength is finding talent from other teams there. Nothing really mind blowing about his numbers. I mean, pitched in 22 games. He's a reliever. ERA of 3.33, little averaging about less than a strikeout per inning. But what he's known for is his sinker ball. He induces a lot of ground balls there. So he's a guy you would kind of look forward to, bring in maybe the 5th inning or 6th inning when there's 2 runners on. You need a big double play. He's the guy to get the other team to beat the ball into the ground and get that double play. Remember back in the 90s, that was Ramiro Mendoza's role. He was really good at getting that big double play when he needed it. The Yankees tried a little bit last year with Lou Trevino because, again, he also had a sinker ball, and they would bring him in the 5th inning. inning, even though he's a former closer, bring him in the fifth inning and get out of a big bases loaded jam there. So that was kind of his forte there with that. So now we'll see if De Los Santos can fill that role there. So Brad Ausmus is here, and we'll catch you on the next one.